I've been really trying to avoid this conversation, but unfortunately, it is time that we talk about Miss Nicki Minaj. And if you've been living under a rock for the past couple of weeks, you may not know exactly what's going on or how bad it's necessarily gotten. Let me give you the clip notes to catch you up. So basically, as of a couple of weeks ago, Nicki Minaj is now MAGA. Yes, she is not just your average Trump supporter. She actually is the Trump supporter, as in going to summits and conferences with the president, saying that he is not only doing a great job with everything in the country right now, but is in fact her favorite person, and going to the First Lady's movie premiere, completely on free will, all to seemingly either troll or I guess like express her views on things. I don't know. I just know that it looks really bad, and it is really bad because what is happening in the rhetoric that she's spreading is very harmful. And I think most people see it as that, but there is a large population of people that do not. And the reasonings for that track, should I say? And if we want to be real, this is not necessarily the biggest surprise because Miss Minaj has had a history of sometimes spewing some rather conservative or Republican rhetoric. My mind immediately goes to the 2020 vaccine denial, or at least skepticism, that she was very public about on social media, talking about how you shouldn't trust a shot because her cousin got big balls from it or something. I don't know. But it seems like compared to back then, things have gotten so much worse, because not only are we just now blatantly getting homophobic and transphobic rhetoric coming from her, we're also getting a spew of a bunch of other unfounded and conservative rhetoric around things like voter fraud and voter skepticism, along with taking advantage of some of the things that are going viral right now with the Epstein files, promoting, again, unfounded, or should I say at least alleged allegations of her enemies being child schmedders. Yeah. Like, it's bad and it's only getting worse. And that's the problem. It just continues to get worse. And the reason I'm even making this video is because recently, and as of recently, I mean yesterday as of filming this, the Grammys happened. And the Grammys were great. I'm really happy with a lot of the Grammys results. I think that the people that I wanted to win did win. And there are even a couple of surprises that I was kind of here for. Like Justin Bieber performing in his undies. Like, who would have expected that? But I mean, are we mad? Although there were some things that I didn't necessarily love about the Grammys. I think for one, and I don't know if a lot of people are clocking this, but like the camera angles for some reason this year were just terrible. Like, I think for a lot of people's performances, the artists did the best that they could, but like the cameraman just did not live up to the expectations. Like, I'm thinking specifically for like Tyler, the Creator's performance, as well as like I think Addison Rae, where like the cameraman just was not in sync and the angles are too wide. It just wasn't giving what I think the vision was supposed to give. And the mics were also low. But I'm getting besides the point. This is not a Grammys breakdown. But the reason I bring up the Grammys was because Onika was mentioned, and not in the best way. The host of the Grammys, Trevor Noah, made a joke pretty early on in the show, essentially prodding at the fact that Nicki Minaj was not at the Grammys, and was implying that that was a good thing because of her recent MAGAfication. And to which seemingly the entire arena applauded and cheered too. But caught on camera was Chrissy Teigen, who gave the thumbs up, being like, yes, this is a great thing. I love this. Onika is over party. Now, honestly, when I turned on the Grammys, I missed this part, so I didn't see this. I ended up having to catch that clip on Twitter. And when I did, I saw a lot of other things. Miss Mama was activated. And let's just say that things got very problematic very fast, because Nicki was quick to tweet in retaliation that, and I quote, "Everyone knows Chrissy Teigen had, allegedly," with the classic Chucky picture. And that was only the start. That was followed by a slew of other tweets talking about any and everything, talking about the host and reposting graphics from the Barbs that are just inaccurate, and then going to promote her podcast interview with some conservative lady. And you may be asking yourself, how the hell did we get here? How did someone that was lauded as one of the biggest allies of the queer community get to this point? And I'm there with you. I'm wondering the same thing. I'm just genuinely shocked how far this whole situation has gotten, and around how this has gone so much farther than trolling. Because I know a lot of people defend a lot of her actions by saying like, oh, she's just trolling, she's just doing this, she's not actually being serious, and that she has some master plan that we all just have to wait and see the results of. And when I hear this, it makes sense why there is like this pivot towards the MAGAfication, because these explanations sound almost identical to the ones that like 2016 Trumpers had. And even a lot of Trumpers that still support Trump do have, around the sentiment of these both being trolls and masterminds that have like this grand scheme plan working out, that the rest of the world are just too dumb or too tapped out of the scene to actually perceive perceive and know. And there might genuinely be a plan here at play. I don't believe that to be so, but benefit of the doubt. Let's say there is some plan at play. How many people have to be harmed and feel unsafe in the crossfire for you to get to that point? Like, again, as someone that has been such a reverent, safe space and ally to the queer community, ally to women, and a proponent for women's empowerment, how can you then seemingly turn your back on that community by very outwardly supporting the party that is anti all of that? And not just that, but then going forward to use homophobic and transphobic rhetoric towards people that you don't like. I'm thinking about the way she was calling Don Lemon a sucker, both online and in clips on that podcast that she's going on, relentlessly going after his sexuality. And then the whole comment with Chrissy Teigen, did we need to be transphobic? Like, the answer to that clearly is no, because especially given the state of the world that we're in right now, and considering the fact that you're now aligning yourself with MAGA, who has made it very clear that they feel that trans people should not exist, to then go and cast speculation and use turpy language against Chrissy Teigen to essentially just have a gotcha moment and to also essentially just be transphobic. Like, I'm just going through the Twitter right now, and this just sounds like someone's Republican Facebook auntie. Like, most of the things that I'm seeing here is just either rage bait or unfounded accusations. And we talk a lot about grifters on this channel when it comes to like influencers and podcasters, siding with one side or being a talking head for one point and then switching up when the money dries out or they find out that we're being played. But I didn't expect to get to a timeline where a A-list celebrity would do such a public grift. And I think that this is so problematic because of the person that's doing it and because of the fan base that she has. Like, the Barbs are one of the most loyal fan bases on the internet. Like, truly a force to be reckoned with. And I fuck with Barbs, but what I'm worried about in this instance is the fact that there are a lot of young and impressionable Barbs that are seeing this stark shift that can be easily influenced to start going down the alt-right pipeline. Because that's what this is. It's just another funnel through that. Like, this shift, while more overt, is just another way to start thinking and believing conservative talking points and conservative beliefs. And like, what's happening here and what's happening in Candace Owens' side of the internet are pretty much the same thing. And if not the same thing, then very similar. And I really don't care as much about the Nicki Minaj bit as I do the impact of what she's saying and the people that she has influence over, because those things are long lasting. Whether or not you believe what she's saying or supporting what she's saying fully, the fact that people are ingesting this content more frequently and almost normalizing it by just sort of letting it happen only, again, normalizes it, but also increases the acceptance of these ideas. And these ideas at hand are inherently harmful, especially given where we are in history and where we are in this country. You have militarized forces going around this country terrorizing people indiscriminately, taking people out and disappearing people left and right. And somehow this is the time to endorse the president for starting all of that. I don't know. I'm not buying it, and I don't know how this ends, nor do I know if there's an actual comeback from all of this, because for better or worse, this is going to go down in history, and not in a good way. And I've been seeing a lot of people say online that like they're not taking this seriously or holding anyone accountable because we still let Kanye be in the conversation despite everything that he said and done and how he supported Trump in the past. And personally, I think there's two things here. One, I think we should have handled his situation much earlier, and we should have done something about that or been more vocal about not supporting that. And two, I think the times in which both of these things happened are so vastly different. Like, I understand the concept of a double standard, but at that time, things were still bad. Trump was bad. Being a Trump supporter at that time was bad. But comparing that to now, giving vocal support to the administration now is a completely different sentiment. Things were bad then, back in 2016, but things are exponentially worse now. We're inching, actually, we're not even inching. Fascism, for all intents and purposes, is here. And this country is looking more and more authoritarian by the day. Giving enthusiastic support at any time, not great, but to give it now, when things are ramping up and when things are getting increasingly violent and increasingly dangerous, to come out and be MAGA now means more, hurts more, and just generally looks worse. And I hate that it's gotten to this point, and I hate that it's Nicki Minaj that we're talking about, because again, I've loved her music for so long, but I fear in this case, things have just gone too far.